Well, I think quite a bit about theoretical physics, and I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I read quite a bit about that because it matters to me, and it matters to me the perspective that the linguistic maps that come from that offer. There's a point at which, of course, I mean, you kind of have to lay it all down and recognize that the thought forms can only take you so far, and that what consciousness, my understanding of what consciousness is, if you can say, trying to do at this point, is recognize itself, recognize itself, which of course implies that there was already a knowing.
Yeah.
I understand that. But I mean, it's just words.
Yeah.
But but entertaining these maps more widely really lets the human condition sort of loose itself, lets one loosen the knots that you think of as your personal life, your personal existence. And it's not because you abstract and you get lost in the airy-fairy of things. It's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's because you start to recognize this larger sense, this larger allness. It's like, you know, the first time you really see a picture of the Earth from the moon way back when, okay? And you see, oh my God, we are on that incredible sphere right this moment. Look how peaceful it looks, regardless of what may or may not have been happening right then. And it's just out there.
Yeah. Well, then just yesterday,
and we're
you know,
just out there.
Just yesterday they found another one.
Well, yeah, and that will always go on. That will always go on.
Trying to find these planets now.
But even realizing that, all right, this is always going to go on because that is the all of it.
Well, isn't it kind of funny when you think about how science, you know, it's kind of this know-it-all religion, actually, scientism, you know.
Some.
And it's like, you know, it's like, well, we knew that, we can figure that out, you know. And there isn't any other inhabitable place, you know, in the universe, you know. And then it's like they discover, oh yeah, actually there are other planets out there in other solar systems. It's like, well, we knew that all along. No, you didn't. You weren't telling us that 20 years ago.
But that's just brain, and brain can only do
yeah.
what
But
it can
that
do.
seems to be what's leading the pack around here. Is just brain. You know, these brainiacs, you know, telling everybody how it is. And really, I think science, I think physics is mostly delusion because it's abstract. It's very abstracted. This whole idea that the universe is the observable limits don't match the age of the universe, and yet everybody kind of brushes past that. Oh well, anyway, well, we already knew that, and then they make up some excuse for that. But you know what it comes down. Well, here's what I'm trying to say, is that Einstein probably has done more to confuse people's thinking about what is real than any other living human being that's ever existed on the planet.
Well, I'm not going to agree with that.
Okay.
Because and I can't really even
well, he's an
speak
icon, you know.
No, but I can't really even speak to it because in terms of his being right or wrong, I mean, these people were openings. My view of when I look at human beings, I think of human beings, not I, Alice. The thought of the idea of human beings comes through to me as portals. And
I love that.
But that's what we are.
And you live in Portland.
Okay. Ha ha. But the idea that one is a portal, and most likely to the extent that they're free of mind constructs, because then that emanates.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean? How could it be free of mind constructs when really that's all there is? What is there other than mind constructs?
Life.
Yeah,
There's
but life is all
mind construct.
Isn't life all mind? Isn't it? I mean, isn't it all
No.
just basically a thought?
No.
It's all just all energy.
No.
Well, what is it?
I think we speak to life more clearly when we speak to what it is not. You can't really say what it is, but you can say It is that which does not have limit. It's like the unnamed that we refer to through history. It's that which beats the heart. It's not my personal heart. I apparently have an individual heart, but it is only the appearance of things.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is the appearance of. I mean, it's larger, but I can't deny that there's breath.
Yeah.
It's just like maybe 20 years ago I was sitting in Oaks Park. This was a little, and I was there with a bunch of kids, and they were doing this ride, that ride, and I'm just trying to keep my eye on all of them. And all of a sudden, everybody in the park just started, I could just see them all as bubbles. And they really were like these. I would see the colors, and I did see it a little bit, but it got very fuzzy. It's like something goes back in. There's a seeing that goes back further into wherever one's head is. And I began to see that they were these images, not my opinions, but images moving about, totally connected by the space between them. And that was the first time I think I ever had considered in word form, that's what I mean by linguistic maps, it's the first time I'd ever considered in word form that, oh, space is not what is between us or separates us, that it was actually the connecting reality, that it was like the being. And we were like these little mirrors, and it translated into mirror, these little mirrors of light that are alive within this, within that which we must breathe, within that which sustains us. And then, of course, clicked in, I could hear Jesus say, I mean, you know, all these things we've learned through time, when he said we live in him as the fishes live in the sea. I mean, there were all kinds of things that just went click, click, click. Buddha said some of the same things. But it was enormous to me, and the seeing was so clear that it was more than a map. Because, you know, what is this? We think we're breathing air. Excuse me. And each one of us exhales into it. Excuse me. You know, this is the vitality of whatever existence is. I can't say, no, I cannot say existence is a mind form. Who am I to say such a thing? It's not possible.